Hi, this is your host Sapnil Bhartiya, and welcome to another episode of TFR Let's Talk. And today we have with us once again, after a very long time, Laurent Gil, co-founder and chief product officer at Cast AI. Laurent, it's great to have you back on the show.
Thank you for having me.
It's my pleasure, and since it has been a while, so I would like to just check on you and the company, talk a bit about what Cast AI has been up to in the last couple of months.
Oh, Swapnil, it's been a wild ride. I can't, I'm so excited with it. So first, today we're launching a new product, a new cybersecurity product. But what happened up to this day is incredible. We started the company by thinking we want to automate as much as possible the function of DevOps. And we want to automate all the work of DevOps that is the most manual work before. So the first product of this was the fact that we built an AI engine that will decide for you how these applications that use Kubernetes should run the best and the most efficiently. So that automation resulted in selected the best machines to run this app, the best performance. So think of this as if you're a bank and your customers are waking up in the morning and start to use your application, then suddenly you want to add more compute resources because this app need more resources. And then at night, the opposite thing happens. You go back to sleep, so less people will use it. We built an AI engine that essentially identify and automate the fact that whatever you need, the compute you need to run this is the right amount. Nothing less, otherwise you have a performance impact, but not too much more, so we eliminate the waste. And if you think this way, the fact that we make this application with more performance and at lower cost is an incredible, powerful element for the DevOps industry and for the DevOps professional. So that's what we've been doing. And the most surprising thing we had was the number of Fortune 500 that came to us in the last 9 months to get the platform into their Kubernetes or their containerized, or you can say cloud native applications. So it's been incredible. It's this to your question.
Thank you, thank you. And just for the sake of our audience, and so that they can also understand the context, what is CastAI all about, and how you folks has also evolved over times as the market is changing? So let's start the basic. What is the company all about? Why you created the company, and how it has evolved?
So I started CastAI with my other co-founders for one big and personal frustration, but a very deep one. I'll tell you what it is. So in 2015, that was my previous startup, was called ZenEdge. It was a cybersecurity company. So we started in 2015. We're fully funded. We have about 10 developers. Great product. We spent about $2,000, $3,000 on AWS to build the product. So nothing special, nothing wrong. That's normal. Like any new startup starting something. 3 years later, we got acquired by Oracle. That was in 2018. Our cloud cost then ballooned to $1.2 million. And we never understood why, ever. Like every month, we would meet with our CTO and engineers, developers, and we discuss what do we do about this, because it increased another 10% this month. And the only solution we had at the time was, well, let's get the expert in cloud, those either from the cloud provider or DevOps engineers that could look at it and identify maybe there is some waste in what we do. Maybe there is no waste. Who knows? And so that was that frustration. So once we left Oracle, we felt that there must be something to do about it. Like it's impossible that we cannot find some clever techniques that will tell us where we have waste and what to do about it. And that's what we built. We built this for cloud native, so for containers, Kubernetes, anything cloud native on AWS, Google, and Azure. And the way it works is like this. It's an AI engine that you unleash that takes over entirely the management of your machines, of your VMs, and is in real time thinking what it is that I need to run this application. Once it identifies this in real time, then it supplies that. Nothing less, but also not too much of it. And so the key here was, let's build an engine that can follow the real utilization of those applications and make sure that as these applications are being used, we add or delete the right amount of compute or deploy the right amount of compute, network, memory, CPUs, storage that this application need. And we do it in real time. And the point here is that we made these applications much more efficient. And I think that's the key, is as this application become more efficient, the efficiency means that we were able to ensure that whatever you use is just the right thing. The byproduct or the impact is a very substantial reduction in your cloud cost. And when I say substantial, I mean 30 to 60%. That's substantial. The idea that in real time you can eliminate the waste, take over, an engine takes over all these macro decisions that would otherwise not be optimized, and apply in a fully automated way the right deployment of resource to run. So think of, if you're a bank and you have a banking app, well, guess what? At night, your customers are sleeping, so you don't need a lot of things to run it. But then they wake up in the morning, then they go to lunch, then they go back to work in the afternoon, and then they go back to sleep again. So the utilization of this app is going to be very, very typical of low at night, high during the day with a lot of peaks, and then low again at night the next day. The engine we built does that in an automated fashion. It says, okay, that's what you need, then I supply this. The key here is that we fully automate the selection and the management of your cloud infrastructure in real time for those apps. The key is the word automation. And it's a clever use of an AI engine that takes over and has been trained to be obsessed with efficiency. The byproduct means it costs a lot less to run. It's not just that, it costs the right amount to run. And the confidence that, yes, automation is actually a good thing, it will make it a lot better to run, a lot more efficient to run. And sometimes efficiency, yes, it costs, of course, by far, because you eliminate the waste, but it's also supplying enough for what you need to run. So you have better performance and you have a much lower cost to run. That's what KSPM is about. We started in 2020. The product has been out since 2022, and we have a lot of enterprises on the platform. And we're probably the dominant player now that is well known for Kubernetes and automation, or helping application run. And it's not, you see, Swapnil, it's not about monitoring it. It's about fixing it. So it's not yet another application monitoring tool. It's really the case of how you make this better in real time by fixing things, by supplying things you need, by deleting things you don't need, by adding some right now and deleting others as they become busy or idle. And the announcement we're doing today is the next step of this. This is where I got so excited with what we are announcing. So if you think of this, we make things more efficient. We make cloud native more efficient. We train an AI engine to look for efficiency waste, cloud waste. We just train the same AI engine to make those applications more secure. And that's the security portion of the platform that we are adding today. It's Kubernetes Security Posture Management. But the big change or the big difference between this and the others, there are many security solutions for Kubernetes, is our does one thing. It fixes issues. It is based on automation, and that's the only thing it does. Yes, to automate, you need to report. So we do include the monitoring side, like the vast majority of other security companies, which is fantastic. We identify all the issues, the vulnerability you may have. But the big difference is by the time you see them, they have been fixed. And that's the key focus and I think DNA that we have. It's based on trust and it's based on credibility. It's the same engine that makes you efficient. The exact same engine makes you more secure. It works the exact same way. It works because it makes you more efficient. You see, I'll give you a few examples of this. You see what I mean. Imagine your app runs on 1,000 machines. It's a big app. Okay, 1,000 machines. Let's say it's on Amazon. A machine is called a node in the Kubernetes space. Okay, it runs on 1,000 nodes. These are VMs. Well, these VMs have an operating system. It's called a Node OS. Well, guess what? Like everything else, they have vulnerabilities, and usually they're well-known vulnerabilities, and therefore you have patches available. The good thing in Kubernetes is you should not have machines that are too old, because then they accumulated a number of issues that are well-known by the community. So we identify that. Not just we identify that, we ensure that no node is older than a few days or a week, and you can parameterize that. Why I say this is because it sounds so simple and obvious. Or if you have old machines, like your laptop, if you don't update your macOS or your Windows, you may be in trouble at some point. And that's why you have a nice automation. Your laptop will update once a year, at least, or more than that. Well, we automate that thing. And why is it so important? Because we notice that before, when a user comes to us, that's the first thing we do. We unleash the engine, and the engine tells us everything. And these OS sometimes are a few months old, or these nodes are a few months old. Even though it sounds to be the simple thing to do, it's not done. Why is it not done? Because when you think of cybersecurity and cloud native, you may have 10,000 of those issues. 10,000, meaning too much information kill the information. And so us as human, we see this huge report with a lot of red, red alerts everywhere and critical alerts everywhere. Of course, what are we going to do? We're going to look at them, each of them, and think, what do I do? How do I do that? Where do I start even? We fix that. Yes, we will show you all the red things because they are identified, but they're going to disappear. Oh, the node OS? Yeah, of course, we will rotate the nodes. We don't even ask. We just say, click the box that says eliminate those. And then from the moment you click the box, there will be no more OS that will be older than a few days. It's as simple as this. I know it's a simple example and almost trivial. And yet, no patch is probably the number one issue that hackers, or the number one window that hackers may use to catch you. Because patching is great. You just scan the internet for all the things that you know may not have been patched, and you find them easily. And that's how they do it. And yet it's the simple thing to automate. And with us, there is no other choice but automating it. I think that's the key. There's much more than this, right? I'll give you one more example of what the thing the product does is, because it's a real-time engine and it looks at all your workload, it's inside the cluster, it's inside the app. So it looks around. It's an engine that continuously looks around what is going on, what is happening, is everything normal? And so it looks at runtime anomaly and you see, oh, if a workload suddenly behave in a way that it was not behaving before, then that's something is wrong. And I kid you not, with one user, we found 42 workloads that were doing crypto mining. I mean, think about this. It just one developer somewhere built a small little thing to do crypto mining on an application that is not doing crypto mining. So it's taking resources from someone to do something that is not supposed to happen because that's not a crypto mining app. You can only catch this by running very sophisticated anomalies. And guess what happened? You use Cast AI, but there's no more crypto mining after that because we block them all. We block them all, right? It's not yet another line in the 10,000 lines you have. There's no more lines. It just said we blocked 42 attempts to run crypto mining for your application. That is why I'm so excited. It is the power of automation to fix or to make these things more secure. So not only are they efficient to run and use a lot less compute, network, and storage, they're also more secure to run because anything outside of the normal space has been blocked or has a requested patch available that will automatically install in a few minutes. That was a long answer to the short question, but and this is why I'm so excited about what we do today and what we launched today. It is finally a place where you can be confident, you can trust, you can have and that has credibility. That yes, you can fix things as they happen and eliminate or reduce your threat, your vulnerability threat surface by using automation for cloud native.
Earlier, you also talked about cost and cost optimization, making it. First of all, what are the things that drive the cost up? It could also be a lot of services that folks want to use. Ingress, egress cost can be there. A lot of services they bought, but they never used it. There are a lot of things sitting in zombies. You also mentioned when to use it. Sometimes peak hours. So talk about what are the major factors that add up to the cost, because there are certain things that there's really nothing you can do. But then there are a lot of things that were cost AI, and you also already mentioned that in the beginning.
There are two sources of waste or cost overrun, if you want, or cost that is not necessary. The first source is very poor, not a lot of automation in how these machines are set. So it's an example that I mentioned earlier. If you built an app and this app runs during the day and during the night, and if during the night there is not much utilization, then it will reduce the usage of the CPUs of these machines. Now, the issue is these machines are still being used. If you have 100 of them, it's like your laptop. They're going to be used a little bit, not just a lot of, right? Maybe 10%, maybe 20%. So they all have something that runs on top of them, just small compared to what may have happened during the day. The question then is, how do you get rid of them? So how do you consolidate these machines? By moving the workload around. So you can empty some by moving some workload around, so you can consolidate or compact, or defragment is a better word. You can defragment these containers so they are sitting neatly inside a smaller number of machines. This is very hard to do in real time, because when you move containers around, you may have a small outage as they are moving around. When they move, they may not be available. So which one do you move? Can you move those that are highly replicated? Yes, because you have many copies of it. One or two that are not available out of 100 doesn't matter. But if you have only one copy, you can't move that one because it may be critical. So the difficulty has been there, right? The human can do it, but you cannot do it if you have more than 10. The machine will do hundreds of thousands of those in real time as it happens. So if essentially at night you'll see CPU goes down, you will start to see machine gets consolidated. So the remaining machines, CPU is well used, you have a lot less. You see, that's why automation is so important, is eliminate the waste by moving things around, and it moves things around that it can move because it knows which one to move and which one not to. It knows because it has been trained to find them. That's why it's great to use AI engine for this. So that's the first one. It's more technical one. Is we all know it's not great, but we don't know what to do. Well, the machine has been trained. The second one is the human aspect of it. So I'll give you one example. In our world of containers, imagine this is a container. When you build this container, the developer have to say, I think I need 2 CPUs to run. And so it tells the system, please give me 2 CPUs to run this. And the system says, great, I'll give you 2. Not 1, not 3, I'll give you 2. The question is, but do you really need 2? Meaning, is it really 2 that you need? Is it not, I don't know, 0.5, or maybe it's 6 CPUs? What? And most of the time the developer knows because they run it in staging and they look at it and no, it's 2. 2 is fine. That's how the answer is. We built an AI engine that questioned that. So instead of thinking, he or she told me it's 2, let's look what the real number is. And let's change it if it's not 2. And you know what the average is? 13%. So on average, you over-provision that number 2 of that container 8 times. That's the good thing with automation, is we let the human give, if you wish, the starting point. I think it's 2 CPUs to run. And then we build automation behind it that looks around in real time, measure it, and say, yeah, you think 2, but you know what? It's 0.1. I'll change it. That's the sources of waste. This is for CPU. Think the same for memory, same for storage, same for network.
Can you also talk when it comes to security? Of course, in the last couple of years, we are seeing that security is no longer an afterthought. It's no longer someone else's problem. It's moving to the board level discussions. Companies are setting up CISO offices. What kind of trends are you seeing in the security space, in the specifically cloud native Kubernetes ecosystem?
I see with our users, I see a clear shift from the traditional security team into the ops team. And we coined a word, we're not the one who did this, called DevSecOps. You may have heard that before. What are the DevSecOps? Well, it's a combination of nearby the developers or the development of things. It's in operations, means it's those that are changing things, and they do that for making this more secure. That's what DevSecOps means. And we see a lot of the action means a lot of the places where things are being fixed is in the teams of DevSecOps, and not really in the corporate central chief security officer. Often they will know there is a problem and they will ask the DevSecOps to fix it. These are our users. We build tool to fix cybersecurity problem for the DevSecOps community. It's a big shift in the cloud native world.
Since we are talking about security teams, security folks, they do like, very good, observability practices. They want to see what's going on. And sometimes you might see that a lot of automation is at odds because I don't want to bring the name CrowdStrike, the whole, things get patched. Can you also talk about how do you strike a balance between automation and security?
It's a great question. It's a great question because it's the core of what we do. You see, so we asked this question to many analysts. When we were building the product, we were wondering, automation is in our DNA. How would that apply to make things more secure? And for us, it was obvious. If you can fix it automatically, then your 10,000 critical alerts become 20. And then 20 is manageable, 10,000 is not. So, and we realized something that was very surprising to us, is that a lot of these tools, cybersecurity tools for Kubernetes, use or have, automation, yet nobody is using it. And this has been told by us to many security analysts, but even by the suppliers themselves. So yeah, we have built this automated product, but everybody use our product as a monitoring tool. Monitoring has merit, but it doesn't fix anything. It just tells you have a problem, and you have too many problems. It's going to be hard for you to fix them or to know which one you should fix. The advantage we have is an advantage of trust and credibility. Our product is already used by the same DevOps engineers to manage performance and cost, or to combine performance and cost. We already are inside. We already took over those macro decisions on how to make this better from a performance side or from a cost side. And we look at the usage of our security product. We're launching today. We've been having beta users for many months now. None of our users are not using automation. They are all on it. And they're all on it because of the trust. Yeah, think of that. If you're only a cybersecurity company and you're going to make changes, you have to trust that they will make the right changes and it's not going to break anything. And you saw the fortunate thing that happened to our colleagues at CloudStrike. In our case, this idea of using automation is already inside the mind of our users because that's what we do. And so I really believe that the power of a platform that automate things, make it more efficient, either because of the cost, the performance, or to make it more secure, is the right approach to avoid these tens of thousands of alerts that are going to be extremely hard to analyze by humans. Let's enjoy the fact that we have great new generations of AI engines. We're not the only one, there are others. Let's enjoy the fact that you don't need to do this manual task, that the machine is doing it a lot better. Not just better, but very fast and in real time. You block it before it happens. Because once the container joins your app, by then it has been vetted or blocked or triggered a rebuilding of the image if we identified that there were some patches available that were not applied. That, I think, is the next stage of the cybersecurity world. It's okay to use automation to do this, and your life is much better if you use automation over not using it.
Of course, you folks are making this announcement today, so it's too early to ask about what's new, what's next, but I would love to hear from you. What are the other things that we can get excited about CastDI this year? Just give us a glimpse, a teaser, what to expect.
We're just getting started. So we'll do a great call with you in October and another great one in December that you'll see. Let's say that if you analyze your cloud bill, or you look at performance of your apps. Performance comes from a few places, and efficiency comes from a few places, right? So you have, of course, security, being secure is a part of efficiency. Using the right amount of compute is part of it. Using the right amount of data is an interesting concept. Where do you store them? How do you store them? So there's a lot of things happening in the space of data management, data performance, and there's a lot of things also in the space of machine learning and AI. In machine learning and AI, when you do training, when you do inference, you need extremely expensive machines. It would be great that you apply the same techniques on this kind of workload. So there's a lot of subject in how you make the cloud a better place and how you make you using the cloud a more efficient task. That's why I say we're just getting started.
Laurent, thank you so much for taking time out today and talking about CastDI, this announcement today. Thank you for great insights. And as you said, I look forward to chat with you again soon. Thank you.
Thank you.